Here is the rear hub, the Cush hub for my Grom clone. It is, obviously you just have one bearing in the Cush hub, and then you'll have two in the wheel. These are basically Grom size, so these are still the Chinese bearings. They are absolutely horrendous, barely over 400 miles. And these are out. I took the seal off. You can always take these seals off if you're real careful on sealed bearings. They're just slight metal with the rubber melted onto them that has the part number on them. As you can see, the ball bearing, I can just feel every ball bearing. There is hardly any grease. It looks like Vaseline. You can see grease on the ball bearings. They are in their own little race holder, or whatever you want to call that. They're stamped on both sides, and then the bearing, one, two, three, and that holds them in place instead of the old school where they just fill it up with ball bearings. The grease is there, and then there's a line of grease on the outer of the race. Inside the race where the ball bearings actually touch, there is no grease, so they don't put enough. I could probably technically just put more grease in this and it would work, but with it have been riding that long, I wouldn't trust them. Plus they're cheap Chinese bearings. I don't trust it anyways. I'm gonna have to take this shop and get this shaft pressed out. That thing is just, the sucker's in there. I'm gonna spray it with some PB blaster right here. Hopefully let that soak in so I can get that spacer out, because I'll need to reuse that. Other than that, like I said, just go ahead and replace the bearings when you buy this thing. It's not too difficult. You should be able to just, I could pound this out right now, but I want to get, I think I want to try to get this spacer out with it in the hub. If I can't, then I'll pull the bearing with the shaft out and then try to get it out that way. I'm not worried about destroying the bearing. You always want to push on the inner race, or I'm sorry, you always want to push on the outer race of a bearing, because you'll ruin the bearing. Of course, this is going to be replaced, so I don't care about that. But yeah, that's most likely why these bearings suck. They don't put enough grease in them, and a real low quality. So you can use straight Honda Grom bearings, go OEM with those, or there's a company called All Balls. They make bearings for dirt bikes, motorcycles, scooters, I think. They do wheel bearings, stem bearings, they do fork seals, and brake caliper rebuild kits. I think even the master cylinder rebuild kits, and I think brake caliper rebuilds kits. They're real nice. You can email them if you don't know the part number. Like I said, we know we can use Honda Groms, but like say the fork seals, I don't even know if those would probably be Honda Grom size. But if you don't get the sizes, if you can get dimensions to them, email it to them. They're nice enough to email you back with a part number that should fit what you're looking for. I've had to do that with some other Chinese bikes, and I found some that fit, so they're real cool about that. What's up, buddy? So yeah, it may ride fine, but trust me, those bearings are most likely toast from the get-go. So just go ahead and replace them, and get the front and rear Honda axle bolts. The stock one on mine is not super crooked, but it's got a slight bow in it, and it's real cheap steel on that. So another thing not to trust.